it messes up the laning phase really heavily too, because that's something that TNC like to rely on with KP. It's like, okay, KP, just like you take the safe lane and we'll run an aggro or we'll run something else in the off lane, but you just soak up everything you possibly can as a Doombringer, and there's like, oh, this doesn't work anymore. Not when the Tuskkar's there, and if you try and run him on the off lane, he's just going to get wrapped on every time, and then you got to commit support to keep the Doombringer up.
Yeah, the Tusk doesn't kill the puck, but he does offer a way for his cores out of the coil. He can, if he buys a blink dagger later on, or if he just walks up, depending, as long as he's not coiled so he can't snowball, he can snowball his core and take them out of the coil. They're invulnerable during the snowball, so it's kind of a pseudo counter in that way to the puck and the Doom. It's a save that counters both of their lockdown spells so far, which I really like, having a way in your draft that just immediately addresses what the other team has already picked. Really prioritizing making their team fights easier to play so far. The Brewer against the Doom, the Tusk against the Doom Puck. I think just overall Alliance is setting up to give their absolute last pick a really good game, and that's kind of what they've flourished on this whole season so far. Setting up Nico Baby to carry them. I think they'll probably pick their Limp Hero fourth based on the way they play.
I wonder who do we get from Limp? With no Viper?
No Tiny?
What do I do? Keeper of the Light from TNC. Lower those cooldowns, and do we actually get to see things like sustain, like bristlebacks that normally get comboed with the coddle? Something to battle against Alliance.
I was wondering if they might be willing to pick like a Lifestealer here, but no, they go for the SF. Okay, interesting.
The other hero, which we've been talking about as the strong midder.
Yeah, it goes well with the Vengeful Spirit. It is a save as well as the damage amp. The Tusk Shards represents a nice like setup for this SF. In the mid game, like these like early roaming ganks. Do you go like we saw the Blink Yule's SF from 9 earlier, that beat TNC. So I'm curious to see how Limp builds it. If he goes for the stand your ground right click build or the mobility around the map build.
We still wait for the phase boots Abyssal, right?
Yeah. The Abyssal and then walk on top of them, and it does have a long enough stun to set up your ultimate for the full damage.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking about that in the bus ride over yesterday. I was just like, wait, how's the timing? You're like, yeah, it works.
It does work. It's long enough. I don't think it's good, but maybe like 5th item, it might be good enough. The people seem to be prioritizing still. I mean, the Yule Scepter is just so nice because it gives you the mana regen too. So it lets you farm and spam camps.
That's the Crystal Maiden.
I don't know how much I like that. They just have so much... like just kind of just damage to throw at you, you know. It's not, they don't have to commit very hard to the Crystal Maiden. I like Crystal Maiden against heroes that she can kind of just frostbite and run away from, and that's not really the case here.
It's like the Coddle and the CM together, like
10 seconds.
There's a lot of squish, like you said.
Yeah, and like obviously like the puck's a little bit more maneuverable. If you got the negative arm against the Doombringer, then he's not as tanky either. So what is this 5th pick from TNT that's meant to bring all this together? Like I was thinking like maybe the Bristleback is like their choice to be tanky, but it also feels like Alliance have a lot of answers to him too.
Yeah, you can kind of just throw up these tanky heroes in the fight, right, with the Brewmaster. As of now, TNC has the Doom like they did last game in terms of the Centaur, so I'm going to look a lot to see whether or not the Doom has a good start, because the big thing I emphasize is they have a way to deal with Puck's offensive nature, but they don't have a way to kill this Puck. So if the Puck gets off to a good start in the mid lane, maybe the squishiness factor for TNC won't be nearly as crippling as it was last game. Just because she'll be able to split push so freely. Like the Tusk and Svenge both have dodgeable stuns. I mean, I think until like SF Sheepstick, they don't really have a way to deal with this. Most carries don't build to deal with Puck. I can't really think of very many carries that actually kill Puck. Both teams have a lot of team fight, though. A lot of save coming from Alliance, a lot of AoE from TNC with the Coddle ultimate, the Puck ultimate. So I think it's going to be a lot about who gets the jump on the other team.
They banned the TB. That would have been a nice big one position for TNC. You want to wait to see something like a Weaver, like from Alliance, like CM and Keeper of the Light would just get absolutely destroyed as long as you could avoid Doom.
Maybe they'll go for the Naga Siren on TNC. I think any illusion hero seems nice. They have a lot of single target physical damage on the side of Alliance. You do have to be careful though, because the Brewmaster can clear out the illusions. Kind of seems like Alliance has a lot of the boxes checked in terms of what counters their lineup. But
Alchemist.
Yeah, they do go for the Naga. Okay, I like that pick. I think you need some illusion high armor hero against Tusk Venge. Like the 2 supports alone only do physical. So it's, I mean, yeah, they have like their minor nukes with the Venge stun and all that, but for the most part, when you're thinking of Venge Tusk, you're really afraid of how much physical damage that whole lineup is representing. And as you said, you have the minus armor from SF. So with that in mind, they have kind of deny picked the Void with the Naga Siren, one of Nico Baby's favorites. What do they go back for? This is a pretty scary lineup to fight into for TNC on the side of Alliance. I would like a low cooldown, kind of keep the pace up carry hero for them here. Running out of time.
Yeah, only 10 seconds for that last one position hero. And it's a DK.
Okay, we saw this earlier. Was it from Alliance? It was from Alliance, right? They ran the Nico Baby DK against the Puck. Just in game in general, it just isn't afraid of the Puck at all. I will say against like Doom CM, a lot of this magic damage and like overall long duration stuns, I don't like it as much. But they actually make it a Nico Baby SF. So are they going to like tri-lane the SF with the Tusk Venge? I mean, any hero with Tusk Venge is kind of scary in a tri-lane, right? That's just so much damage.
And then like KP and 33 just duke it out as the Doom and the Brew.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want the DK against the Puck and lane for the matchup. It's just super good. Puck relies on kind of constantly harassing you. DK doesn't really care. Can kind of out CS you with the Breathe Fire damage reduction. Gives them this like tempo setter in terms of tower pushing.
Is it still doable that like when you've got like Keeper of the Light as well as Tim's, like the CM and the Coddle together, like can they force out a tri-lane themselves? Like if you get enough blasts off, like
it sounds like the harass battle goes in favor of TNC, right?
Yeah,
but the kill potential goes for Alliance. So it comes down to, I think, whether or not they can close the gap on Alliance and get the kills.
How many blasts you can connect, who's got the vision. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
This is like early game setup, the minute and a half that comes before the game starts, I think is going to be really important. Like you said, for the ward setup for the lanes, scouting out the opponent lanes. I have to assume, based on the fact, I don't think I've seen Nico Baby play mid yet. So I have to assume it is a side lane SF, which I have not seen at all. Really no idea, what the play is.
I think they're just trying to protect the KDA, the stats of Limp.
There you
just
go.
like play DK on the safe lane, just max up your Dragon Blood. I don't want you dying at all. Like that's all it is. We're just statting Alliance now.
Yeah, what is the we have to hope that they still plan to have Nico Baby on the wing edition on this SF. DK kind of represents more of a space maker this game. Probably does scale pretty well against the Naga Siren too. Naga Siren all physical damage as well. And the DK is pretty tanky against that. Honestly, other than Doombringer alone, they don't really have a way to kill this DK. And they have a lot of ways to peel the DK away from the team once he gets to swap the Tusk Snowball, as we said. I like both drafts this game. I think it's going to come down a lot to teamfight execution, and those are always the fun games to watch. I only hope there's not this stalemate kind of game where both teams don't really want to fight the other team.
No, you're not going to get that. You see TNC already starting off exact same way as I was talking about it when you get KP on a Doombringer. You send him to the safe lane, you then run an aggro tri-lane, and they're putting Naga, CM up towards the top lane, Cotter will move around, Puck will play the mid, and that means like Alliance also know what's going to happen. They're running their dual lane. They're already sending 33 and Fada, the Brewmaster and VS to the off lane from the very, very beginning.
And they are 100% committed to this SF side lane.
It's almost like the classic mech. It's like you've got Buckler on Fada, and you've got Headdress over on the Brewmaster for the...
Wait, Alliance has 2 headdresses right now. The Tusk has one as well as the Brewmaster. So I guess they might start with the Venge in the Brewmaster's lane and then rotate him top, something like that.
Limp is taking the DK to the mid.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they're going to leave the SF Tusk alone. Maybe there's something I'm missing where SF Tusk specifically, because of the tag team, is like really good, but I don't know, man. The SF does not stand out to me as a safe lane hero. Maybe against Doom it's good, but then TNC is looking to do the aggro tri-lane, like you said.
Unless they need to have the SF there in order to deal with the aggro tri-lane of TNC. Like,
is that how you deal with it?
Well, does DK add anywhere near enough pressure if you put him on the safe lane to...
Yeah, I don't think that's an option. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, then you're still allowing a Doombringer to get like easy levels in the bottom lane. Like, it's the mistake that I think everyone makes against TNC. It's like, oh man, we need to be able to focus on their cause. We need to ensure like that Armel, like Gabby does not have a good game, but then KP comes in and is like, hey guys, remember I'm a real player too, and then he does something big and a farmed up Doombringer.
I will say, I think it's a big deal that these supports are buying bucklers for their offlaners that they're playing with, or even if they're tri-laning, either way, it's really good. Brewmaster and Doom, both pretty low armor offlaners, especially the Doom with 0. But either way, if you're in the tri-lane, the buckler is really value. If you're with your offlaner, it's really value. So I like the early bucklers picked up by the Coddle as well as the...
Yeah, March is already headed north. So they are going to run that full aggro tri-lane from TNC. This is going to be a hard lane for Doombringer, but if they get enough pressure from the TNC lineup, I don't know if there'll be a choice for Fada. He'll probably have to go top lane.
30 seconds.
Limp always checks for this ward in the mid lane. He always walks over to that mid lane tower and sees if the tower hits him. You can still do that this patch, so he's always been doing that. And this time he's actually cutting the trees. I wonder what that's for. It's always interesting when you see these players do these little things. Like, why did he walk up and cut 4 trees?
Well, would it like stop the CM from hanging behind one and attacking? Like, the CM's not going to be ganking you in mid.
There's almost always a reason why they do it. So instead of saying like, they're just doing it, I always try to figure out why. We'll maybe see it as it plays out.
Well, so both top bounty runes go the way of TNC, and both the bottom ones go the way of Alliance. This is what happens when you have a solo hero for the Radiant on bottom. And Alliance is still switching up their lanes too. So you see Nico, he's making the walk through mid lane. In fact, he's coming down with Limp. Like, I almost feel like it's almost a pub game. No, I'm mid. No, I'm mid.
I think he's going to willingly give him the mid lane. They wanted the SF against Doom. I have to imagine that's what the reason for the SF pick was.
Do they rotate down now? Like, so it looks like Tim's and March will have to try and intercept 33, who's coming for the creep wave, and they're already in position for this. So 33 realizes he is not getting this creep wave. It would have been too much slow. There's even level 1 blinding light, so they get a little bit more damage time into him. And he's going to consume the mango, so they get another blast. Can you, no, he has blind light on cooldown for too long. Try and push him into the pit.
So 33 cops TNC, I think, a bit.
33 cops a hell of a lot of damage on this run. So Hanskin's the man who has to take the experience in the lane. And Fada has already TP'd to the top lane too. And you see Hanskin, he TP'd to the bottom lane. So movement from Tusk to join Nico Baby against KP.
Yeah, they want the Venge Brew and they want the Tusk SF. I think that seems to be clear. They want the melee range combo in both lanes.
There's Marsh's TP. So we're rotating once again as KP will work with Marsh just to force Hanskin out of the lane.
Already level 2 on Doom. Big deal for that. Doom's a hero that every level in the early game is a huge power spike for him.
I don't know if that was really worth it, Armel. He orbed into mid lane, connected on Limp as well as the range creep. But in return, he had no way to escape from Limp's attack. He cancelled like maybe a fraction, like half a second of the remainder of his salve. But, he'll take it.
Yeah, DK just doesn't care about Puck's harass in general, and as the game goes on, you do have a nearly instant stun against the Puck. Just overall, a really nice game and lane counter to the Puck. Already beating him by about 4 CS right now.
If they even see the regeneration rune, Armel's going to orb and jaunt. Oh, Breathe Fire will cancel that.
Yeah, no points in phase shift to dodge. Maxing out those nukes in order to secure the CS, but still struggling a bit. Already down by 4.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The lane only really gets better for DK as he gets more points in Dragon Blood. Already up to 2 points. The regen's just too much for Puck to harass through. SF already up to 12 souls in the bottom lane, so that's good for him. I just haven't seen this side lane SF. I'm more curious to see like what the role in the game is. Like, is he your carry? Is he going to be spending a lot of time farming? Is he going to be fighting with his team? What's the play here?
How to make the 3? Oh man, March caught inside the shards blind light. Try and buy a little bit more extra space. Nonsense keeping the pressure on, but now it's KP's turn, and they just keep with the chakram. KP on top of Hanskin. Does not, however, have his other clap up fast enough.
Such a good creep to get early, the Thunderclap creep on the Doom. The attack speed's nice. He did take the second point in Devour, I think, to get it. I didn't notice what his reaction was, but when I've played Doom, I level up the Devour if I see a good creep at the big camp. And the 50 mana for 150 damage is very effective, cost-effective nuke for Doom.
Armel is living life on the edge in this mid lane. That's a level 2 Breathe Fire. It's 170 damage. He's got 225 HP.
I do like the mid lane now. It's more of a 1v1 than in the past. You used to see some roaming from the 4s and the 5s, but right now, for the most part, in the first 5 minutes, there's just too much to do in the side lanes. Top lane might be in some trouble.
Yeah, CM. Sparta looking for the first blood.
Thanks and have fun.
Yeah, he died to the Brewmaster W. He's been going this Cinder Brew build, which is quite interesting.
Refiner actually set him up for the perfect last tick too.
Oh, I didn't realize it's any spell damage now. That's why they do the Venge plus Brew, because you pretty much always get spell damage off with the Wave of Terror. That's cost effective. Okay, I like that. Now that I see that, I hadn't read the Cinder Brew ability recently.
Are you actually believing a tooltip inside of Dota?
It seemed to work there. You know, he did die to the Cinder Brew damage.
Yeah, here we go again for Gabby. He'll be able to retreat back out again. Had enough armor to survive.
He's maxing out the Cinder Brew.
Bottom lane KP. He's underneath the tier 1 tower. Close the distance over on Nico. He's already burned 2 of the Razors. KP needs to stay close, but here we go again with a snowball forward. KP in the tree says TP available. Scorched Earth will give him the movement speed, however, but underneath the tower, he just tries to outrun with a quick salve. The one more extra raise, and he'll take the creep wave with him. There seems to be a wasted time for Alliance now. Snowball's off cooldown, so KP can't just TP out, but he doesn't care. His regen is more than enough.
He's on a journey. I always call this the journey. You know, you're just migrating from one lane to the other as the creeps as well as the support chase you.
You're leaving me able to get like a double creep wave on the bottom lane later on.
And Coddle has no problem with that. And Doom ends up coming back because of the Scorched Earth we saw last game. Absolutely no problem with the double wave. Any offlaners that like the double wave seem to be better this patch.
Now they're moving up to the top lane. Gabby locked in by 3 heroes. The snowball, ring fighter, and nice and close. Quick mango consumption, and Gabby losing life quickly. The Doombringer already TP to the bottom lane, so he was not involved with this at all. But Hanskin making that rotation, the chase after the Doombringer, really worth it.
One thing I like about this last pick, DK, is something I mentioned in the draft for Alliance, is they had no way to deal with the puck in the mid game, and now they do. So it's really nice that they're able to just put their 2 supports, not really focused on killing this puck, kind of leaving mid to do their own thing, and they're able to group up in these side lanes, and they just have so much damage between the Wave of Terror as well as the Tusk tag team.
I'm also watching KP have some real hard times getting some DPS, like some CS in the bottom lane. Nico's sitting at 96 damage at the moment.
He's chilling, man. Just the classic offlane solo SF.
Let's make it a classic 100 now. 60 plus 40.
There you go.
Like, against the Doombringer, it's 80, but it's still difficult. If he gets too close, he just gets hit by all the razors. Gabby, magic missile stun gets thrown out. Tuskar's going to be there. Fada loses his courier. There goes his boots. And Hanskin trying to stay on top of Gabby. Very difficult to do, however. Tim's would be an easier one. Sharp block, make him run a little higher, but Tim's goes back to his own vision. So he feels safer to play this.
Seeing so many people TP back to base is so interesting, because for so long we've had the double shrine where people just pretty much never have to return to base. And already seeing this tournament, how many supports just instantly TP back to base rather than doing anything else, because there's just no other option to get your health and mana back. Hit that reset button, come back on the map, be as effective as soon as possible. And Nico Baby has to be a little bit worried once KP gets 6 in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Oh, mango tree. Whew.
Got it.
How many times I've seen so many people just be caught out of position because they have to go back for an item. It's so funny whenever it happens. They're like, oh crap, an item, and then they just walk out of position and die.
It's like, wait, let me put that on a shrine. Oh, wait, there's no shrine on bottom. It's fine. I'll put it in my safety area instead. And you really want to probably push a little bit more damage to the tier 1 tower in mid lane, but you've seen Tim's like Dragon Form gets triggered. He comes over. Armel's nuking down the creep wave. Setting up the stacks as well over on the side. Any kind of flash farm for the puck to try and boost up this net worth. And right now, top 3 net worths do belong to TNC.
Yeah, first item, Helm of the Dominator on 33. I've been curious about this because there's been certain games where I think it's really good on some heroes, but then you're against heroes that just easily kill your Dom creep. And it's a lot of gold. You have the Doom Devourer as well as the Crystal Maiden Frostbite. And kind of peculiar to me that he would rush this item in a game where 2 of the enemy heroes can just gobble up the creep pretty easily. Maybe they're looking to take Roche. I'm not 100% sure what the point of the early Helm Dom is here.
Yeah, Doom was always that old counter. Like, it's like, hey, you picked up a Chen Gray. I'm going to get a hand of Myas. I'm going to get devoured. Yep, and we're done.
Top tower isn't well at the moment.
I think 33 wants a lot of extra help to go after Gabby. But the Observer Ward on the hillside scouts out Nico Baby's rotation to the top lane. So Naga just leaves the illusions behind to do the farming. But that means on bottom lane, you've got Tuskar and VS now playing the lane against KP, who feels very uncertain.
That kind of makes sense, right? You put your supports in the Doom's lane so that if he wants to get a Doom off, he either has to rotate or he's just dooming a support. So Nico Baby making a very natural rotation. I was kind of curious what he was going to do once the Doom hits 6, and he just says, I'm out of here. See you later. You can have the Doom supports.
Limp's movement got scattered out by the Observer Ward. Fada thought he found it. He dropped a sentry and then was only able to find another sentry ward, but TNC, they know what's down here, and KP, like, he wants to battle against Limp. He wants to be able to get this Doom off and have some extra help to finish the job now. Magic Missile with Wave of Terror, Doom underneath the tower. You got the Dominator creep charging his way in too, so quickly under the tower as more support going to arrive. Creep trying to block its way through, but the phase boost allows KP to run, but March won't be so lucky. But the Bruce split comes out, the stun flies forward, the follow-up stun that's now available. So KP getting chains out, 4 points up in the Scorcher. They've got stick charges available, but cannot get them off. Just this chain stunning from Alliance.
That's sick micro, man. He's got the 3 pandas and the Centaur. The Centaur Stomp recently in this, I think the first patch of 7.23 got reduced to 12-second cooldown. Already seeing the impact of that lower cooldown. Nico Baby might be having some trouble in the top lane.
Yeah, you get the jelly, but nothing royal will save you from this. Good raises onto Tim's, but silenced up. He's looking for the last ones, but the range difference was not quite right. Snowball forward. Nico, he'll actually his Hanskin, who gets the kill over on Tim. Mel wants to finish the job. He can finally do it, but does he lose his life for this as well? You got phase shift available. The shards fly forward. Gabby wants to help out. No Song of the Siren. He goes for a quick in for the mirror. Is there a control? There's no snare. He went for a 4-0-4 build on the Naga Siren.
That was a sick play by the Puck overall just to get out of that by John.
They want more. Over towards the Tuskar. Jaunts his way forward. There's Hanskin. Well, the Wave of Terror will be able to connect, but Tuskar into the tree lines. KP has the movement speed plus the burn damage, and Gabby's not done yet. Chasing Fada back behind the tier 2 tower, maybe. If this continues the chase going down, he's got his illusions up once again.
This is what I worried about with the Puck. Looks like he's just going to kill Fada in the tower? No.
But Tim's will come in as well. Keeper of the Light will die as well. Tim's letting it go onto the tier 2 tower, but now Hanskin's done his own rotation in. KP thinking about helping out, but there's not much he can do. Limp TP's in as well. And maybe they think about disengaging. 33, no split available, but he'll go after Gabby. KP still has Doom up. Is there any TP support that can come to join this? Coddle's TPing towards the mid lane instead. As KP tries to block him up with the snowballs. You pick up 33 on the way through, and we're all just jumping in. And now the Dragon Tail stun over on the Doombringer. They'll drop KP.
That's why I love Tuss so much against Doom. That right there. You saw that Doom. Does not look very tanky right there. Just gets splattered by that tag team damage.
And Limp just tanks the tower, so they'll get both of the outposts in for Alliance. A lot of damage into this tier 1 tower on top lane. Let's try and restrict the map area of TNC.
Alliance kind of feels like they're just out-rotating TNC here. Just outmaneuvering them on the map. The Puck was playing on low HP the whole time and managed to live, but...
They want to fight again. Smoke from Fada as well as 33. They're going to come in behind this tier 1 tower, snowball in. That's Fada over on Tim's, but there's 2 supports ready to die. They know Tim's is already dead. Limp had that one in the bag, allowing 33 and Hanskin just to go after before he can even reach the tier 2 tower.
So much damage.
Dire's bottom tower is in turmoil.
Helmdom does naturally synergize with the Avenge because she gives all your heroes bonus stats, and then you give the bonus base damage with the Helm of the Dominator, so it does make sense a bit there. And you're seeing it just come into play. Maybe it's just the ability to have that extra bit of reach with your Brewmaster. You have the extra stun from the Centaur. Sometimes you get the attack speed creep. Really prioritizing the Centaur right now.
And TNC are going to have to get on top of their vision game. We were talking about at the very start during the draft. It's like, okay, so now that you've lost control of your top, the wards start coming down from Alliance. And if they have the vision, they know where to fight. You're going to come out on top. But you still haven't seen the Naga Siren really have an influence. Like, she went for the point of ensnare to try and battle underneath the tier 2 tower, then got the 10% mirror image damage. But there's still no Song of the Siren. There's still no reset for TNC. And KP wants something, triggering off the drums. Brewmaster straight into the split. Now with the Centaur Stomp, this is just 33 microing to perfection. He'll need a little bit of extra help here, KP. And he's got it in the form of his supports. The Puck sent up by the Cyclone.
Not safe.
And 33, 2 seconds left on the Brewlings. They're trying to stay with the Earth Brewling, but one more send up. And Doom can't do jack.
He does get the Helm Dom creep, though, for the 200 gold. As we talked about, the fact that they have 2 ways to easily kill that creep.
Actually got him the Ocean's Heart too. Now this makes a little... Actually, it doesn't make that much sense in the Doombringer. Like, he's still a fire boy.
Yeah.
But it's the river that runs through hell.
Exactly.
Oh, KP. Scorch out time. Needs extra life, needs extra swap out. Now Tim letting it go, combining with the Ignis. They're having a real hard time, Alliance, getting out of range. The denial, Hanskin. Well, the Doom was out. So it's just a 1 for 0 as far as the trade goes. Armel looking for his own rotation. Does not have Dream Coil available without the split from Brewmaster. Does not feel like he's got enough life to survive. Hit up by the Veil. Push back for the Blinding Light, but now Limp with the Blink Dagger. Jumping forward. Armel not ready for the stun. Can phase shift and then blink his way up all the way to safety. Able to join his way out to safety. There was not enough damage to find this kill. March doing the defense duty.
I really like the Blink Dagger pickup on Limp. It wasn't quite enough damage to kill the Puck there, but without this Blink, you have no way to kill the Puck. So having that threat on Puck's really big, and overall, they do need him to be that play starter, because you have Brew as an offlaner, doesn't really start fights. He kind of just goes in, and then SF as a carry, definitely not the fight starter. He is doing this like drums Yasha build on the SF, so he's looking to scale a bit. I can't imagine you scale that well against Naga Siren, so they must be planning to hit this like minus armor mid-game timing with the Venge, the Tusk physical damage, the SF passive. I have to imagine that's what they're looking to do on Alliance.
Yeah, but can they really do it? Like you talk about the Blink Dagger being nice for nice denial of the first. Is he actually going to deny up both the bounty runes on bottom? No, he won't. He's not sending the illusion over.
Got to get that big camp farm.
I don't think he also had time on the illusion to get it there.
Oh, clumsy net for Nico, baby. Who's that going to go on? One of my favorite items in the new patch. Pretty broken sometimes.
Can you get it onto the Tusker? Use it the same way as the Pango?
I think the only problem with Tusk is you can't snowball after you clumsy net somebody. But you do lock them in with you in the arena of battle when you have your tag team up.
Well, that's a nicer one. Imp Claw after the Doom. Top lane, silence over on Farder. Armel really trying to get involved in this one. Tims with a Frostbite will hold Farder in position. But don't worry, he's still alive, even if it's in spirit.
Armel's so good on Puck, man. He always pushes the limits, and since DK is the only real hero that threatens him, as long as he sees DK on the map, feels very safe doing whatever he wants in these little skirmishes with the supports.
And then just the advantage of Puck to clean up the wave, take the tower. Now that allows him to afford his own Blink Dagger. Getting the Veil to begin with for the damage, and now he's got the extra maneuverability for the Blink.
Curious to see what talent he takes. He's already level 13 on Puck, but he's just maxing out all of his other skills. So will he take the cast range or the attack talent? Did they change the color of Essence Ring, or was that always green? I feel like it used to be blue. I feel like it used to be blue, you know? Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong.
Oh, yeah. I was, like, looking at that in the first games, and I was like, is there, like, a wrong hue on my monitor or something? And then I've seen it, that was, like, during the spectating, and now I'm seeing it here. I'm like, I guess they just made it green.
Well, it's the essence of intelligence. So what is the color of intelligence?
Blue.
Blue, right?
Yes.
So that makes more sense. If we're going with logic again, man,
Yeah.
he's going to doom the DK. They really want to get this kill with the Ignis protection. A nice dump from KP, making sure Hanskin's not getting involved. Farder also frostbitten on the edge of the Ignis. He can't move away. Now Tim's trying to let it go. He'll get some decent damage out, but it's still not enough. And in fact, Doombringer will fall too. This is the entire team. Gabby, he's holding the Song of the Siren. So if they really feel it's getting out of control, they can get out. The swap from Farder. Nico, that ulti.
Zoning ulti.
Yeah, zoning. Yeah, space has definitely been created.
Yeah, that charge by Hanskin, by the way, was sick. Divided the entire fight, allowed them to actually close the gap and get the kills on the CM and the Doom.
He got the Doom. He got the the Dom creep.
Philosopher's Stone. The dream on any support hero. This Venge is 6-slotted. Look at this. Got the Ironwood Tree, the Clumsy Net.
Negative 35 attack damage, don't care. Armel getting caught out, locked inside the shards. They try and push him back. The snowball stun. But Armel now going to try and orb away. He has to move in quickly, but now the Razors, he moves towards the east. So Nico Baby misses the first one. Another quick phase shift. Needs a little bit of extra help. Tim's is nearby, and then the phase and blink away. Armel, my God. Can this guy pick Puck more often? Like, it's so beautiful to watch. Underneath the tier 1 tower. Now Tim just taking it for the team. The Blinding Light pushing the Lions back. They want to beat down this tower. 4 heroes together, they will be able to claim the tier 1 tower. And a snowball forward catching March, looking for his own D push with the aluminum. Well, not be enough. 33 will claim that one, but it feels like more and more time and space is being granted for Gabby. Already having his Manta Style, but his casual broomstick handle as well. And he's very close to finishing up the diffuser blade.
The only issue I have with the Naga Siren, as I mentioned in the draft, was that you have this Brewmaster to clear illusions. I'm not sure if they're ever going to be able to fight into the Alliance
Can they get to Roshan in time?
Maybe.
Roshan's not dead yet. He's low on life. Now Song of the Siren will do some decent work if they can get close enough. And they trigger it out. Roshan so low, the Dream calls down. Roshan, he's 30 HP. They'll bring him down. Gabby gets the Aegis Immortal. Alliance caught napping, and the 3-man start from KP. Let it go. 10 in the side. They'll send him up with the Brewmaster Ultimate. Gabby still trying to fight it out hard. Armel back in for another one for the Ignis. Right on top of Roshan. Alliance, they're doing the best they can to fight, but it feels like TNC are getting so much space created out of all of this. Gabby is still not dead yet. They're doing the best they can. Now they'll break him down. The buybase came in, and March will be brought down. Gabby wears his way outside this pit. 3 heroes there. Armel will try and deliver this exit strategy with a 3-man silence and the Asair. They keep Brewmaster control. Thunder's coming over. His Wave of Terror will get some revealed. Gabby getting a little bit of a shrine here, and the shards, they'll block him in. Armel comes back in once more. The ensnared net will be there. Armel able to AWP jump himself away to safety.
Thanks for playing, Dota2.
33 gets the double kill. You do deny, at least, the Roshan with the Aegis. But that's all you really deny.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like best case scenario for TNC, and after everything's said and done, yeah, they forced the buyback on Hans again, but I don't think they're too happy with that result. Losing the Naga with the Aegis as well as the actual life and dying. The DK didn't die there working on his Radiance. Overall.
They'll still get double bounty runes on the bottom. This was able to be grabbed up by Armel. He also was able to steal 2 mangoes, so we have a mango thief. Value, total value.
Net worth swing approximately 200, you know, somewhere in there.
Hey, there's another 3 mangoes just sitting on the ground. There's a lot of wasted net worth in this patch. Well, quick phase shift, dodges one of the raises, and we'll see how the escape works. Blinks up, the shards will be able to find him, but then he jaunts up even further.
He did have to blink up because you have to blink in the direction you're facing if you want an insta-blink there. So smart by Armel.
Mopped up the creep wave, and then he'll just jaunt himself away. Another quick blink, and he'll do it. He'll do the TP out. That snowball close. Not close enough, and that's level 1 Dagon is the choice from the puck. And he did go for the phase shift attack plus the spell amp.
Yeah, I don't know how reliable it is to burst these Alliance heroes. You have 3 strength heroes and an SF who is building pretty tanky. Already up to 1700 health. And they have the pipe aura as well from the Brewmaster. So I can respect what he needs to do in this game as the puck, but it is a bit concerning that he's going for this like burst damage build when it seems rough to burst damage or burst down the Alliance heroes.
But he needs something. Smoke from Alliance. Can't keep their creep waves alive long enough to get any information, and the Naga illusions are farming the jungle. So it's quite safe. The smoke doesn't break. They drop their Observer and Sentry, so at least there's some information. Observer, Sentry, Sentries. Any information Alliance can get to fight, they come in close, and instantly the smoke breaks. It's Tims who's the one to do it, back underneath his own Observer Sentry, and then the 3-man coil, 3-man silence, and Tims from the tree line. They just hold him with the Ignis. It's double layering of AoE control. Fada can't get back out of this one. All he can do is die. That's his escape mechanism.
You move like a blue heart glacier.
The classic walk up the hill and feed strat coming out from Alliance.
Naga.
Will they catch him?
Gabby's got the haste rune. He had the movement speed. Everyone else is coming over. Puck will be here too. Quick all forward. But no! There was no damage. There's no control. Now you'll get your ensnare. They decide to turn around with Limp. You've got an extra control Centaur coming in from the side. Buyback comes in from the Vengeful Spirit. Brewmaster split 2. They want the extra control with no Song on the Siren from Gabby. There isn't that extra hit. They've got the Doom available from KP. They put it over on Limp. The stun control, however, it's all focused towards Gabby. A quick swap up. Gets Limp back out to safety. Gabby trying to walk off all the damage to Blinding Light. They'll create a little bit extra space. Brewmaster sends him up with the Cyclones. And Nico can finish the job with a quick little raise. So 2 heroes to drop from TNC. They really did force the issue. And it may not be done just yet. Alliance chasing KP. Try and juke out as much as he possibly can. Does not have a TP scroll available and now gets scouted out. Quick Cinderbrew with a follow-up stun. Dream Coil in from Armel, able to get a double stun out. And KP will get his own return stun with the Centaur hit. The Dream Coil will not snap on Fada as well as 33. As they swap once again, Armel They need more help, but they don't have it. It's Alliance who bring the extra help in the form of the SF. Another quick jump in with the silence, but yeah. Mel, all they can do is chip on the sides, but cannot save KP. And now they'll lose their shrine, but it's still a 1-for-1. Top belongs to TNC.
Venge just represents so much damage, man. The primary stats, the Wave of Terror, minus armor. What a broken hero, man. Apparently she's still at like a 57% win rate after all the nerfs in like the highest tier of Dota. It just overall the hero seems to do too much, and for whatever reason these like tanky heroes like Doom, they just don't look tanky in front of Avenge. And the one problem I have, as I said, going late game for the TNC lineup is you saw the Naga Siren just split at the start of that fight with the mirror image, and Brew just instantly killed all of her illusions with the purge, AoE purge from the ultimate on the Storm Panda. Top lane though, Tusk
couldn't snowball in time.
Yeah, you can't snowball out of those roots, so they do have a lot of roots for this Tusk. I'm kind of surprised he's not itemizing a blink, just because I feel like he might need to blink from out of vision.
Arnold's got to get the hell out of here. That's a blink, stun, ready for limp, but instead they swap in Tims. That's not exactly the target they were hoping for, and they know the Fada stun is pretty useless against Puck as long as Phase Shift is up. But this Naga's getting so much space still across the map. Like, building in towards the heart is definitely taking some time. SF is the #1 network in the field.
I want to be proved wrong because I always like to learn in Dota, but I just can't imagine this Naga Siren ever being able to fight, because I think the Brewmaster's thing does like 5,000 damage once you include the amp from illusions, like how much more they take. So unless the Naga has 5,000 health or more, her illusions will just get one-shotted in all the fights. So even though she's getting this farm, I'm just concerned as long as Brewmaster is not getting doomed before he splits, that she'll have a hard time meaningfully contributing to these team fights.
No. But she contributes to the map. Like, it also feels like the TNC split push. It doesn't come in the hands of Tims like it did in the last game, but it just is Naga. These illusions are forever forcing out the lanes, and you see Alliance. Like, Alliance, like, they didn't grab or contest any of the bounty runes. There's still one that's alive in the top river. They've lost both the shrines.
The Puck could be the X factor here.
Yeah.
The split push, as you're saying, like between the Naga Siren and the Puck, you have this incredibly survivable Puck, and then you have just all the lanes being shoved by the Naga Siren as well. So that could be just the play for TNC. If they're never able to get the fight they want on the side of Alliance, who built all these team fight group up items, that's definitely a way for TNC to easily scale well into this late game.
All right, so who wants the Greater Fairy Fire?
It's such a weird item. It seems so good on paper. It gives damage, like a burst heal, but then when you have it, it just seems underwhelming.
All right, we were talking about this before as well. Like, there's no way to actually destroy neutral items. What happens once you actually consume the entire fairy fire? Do you get another item that starts to drop at that point?
I don't think so. I think it's counted as one of the three, but that is a good question, actually. I think the game registers how many have been dropped once they drop. I think that's how it does it, because whenever they drop, it's like 2 out of 3.
But that seems like a little unfair for a team that then gets to Greater Fairy Fire. And then it's like, well, now we've only got 2 items because this has 3 charges only.
Yeah, that's true. It is one of the few items that expired. The Elixir used to work like that, but obviously that got removed. I think they knew that they were. I think they were going to remove shrines, and like they knew that, so they're like, okay, Elixir would be way too good if one team had it and the other team didn't.
This is cheeky for much. Just the Glimmer Cape. Never-ending push on the side. Doombringer. BKB's been triggered from him. He'll turn around, just stunning over on Fada. Support's coming in from TNC. 4 heroes together ready to fight. They're all looking for Roshan. He will respawn in a minute, but it's because he could have potentially spawned already.
And Doom has no armor items, man. He has the BKB, but sitting at 10 armor when he's near the buckler, that is not what you're looking for against the Venge SF. When SF was near him, he was taking basically pure damage through BKB. And DK is about to get this Radiance, which makes it even harder for the Naga Siren to carry. I will say I really think the Puck has to be the X factor this game. Naga will have impact because she's so farmed, but I think somebody else has to be able to deal out like the necessary damage to bring down these Alliance heroes.
Man, they even got some of the damage. Like there's one courier which is now currently walking around with an Imp Claw as well as the Ocean Heart back at base. They get a repair kit available too. There's some extra damage being just left.
Quickening Charm. Anybody? Nobody? Handskin? There's just a quickening charm there.
Yeah. All the couriers are being sent back as well. They're not even coming for this. 9 HP regen. You'll take that.
Yeah, that seems like value.
Oh.
Is he going to see it?
I don't know. Did anyone know? Yeah.
Okay, they see it.
Ping, 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 ping.
It's amazing how many things can distract you in Dota where you're not even noticing. And I think the cooldowns on Tusk seems really good, actually.
Oh. There is the sound. There's like that boom, boom, boom.
Okay, he handed it to 33, so they gave him the quickening charm. Seems like a relatively underwhelming item, but I think cooldown reduction in general is pretty insanely powerful.
Mm-hmm.
The Prism item is insane. That's tier 4, I think, right? It starts spawning in like 35 or 40 minutes. A 20% cooldown reduction.
Naga's trying to get this last hit in the tower. Won't happen. 33 actually denies it with his Conquered Centaur. They actually switched the name of that around because he's been dominated. So the Centaur really has been conquered. He doesn't conquer anything anymore.
That makes sense. Are you the one that talks to them about these things and make sure they, keep the lore in line? Or?
Nah, no one talks to me about shit.
Okay.
That's if they listened to me, techies wouldn't have got the crap.
Techies would still have some way to scale into the late game. Rip techies.
No, he's dead. He's dead. I was always one of his biggest advocates, but that hero is trash now. Absolute trash.
So many neutral items are just being backpacked this game. I think the biggest beneficiary of neutral items this game is the Venge. He's just got all the items now.
Alliance will quickly do Roshan. Song of the Sirens up. We could go for a repeat. The Illusions need to have a look around, but they're a little late this time around TNC. Smoked up, but Roshan is already dead. Aegis and Cheese both in the hands of the Shadow Fiend. And they find the Naga Siren, Vengeful Spirit, the jump forward. Gabby, he's in a hell of a lot of trouble. He even can disengage from this. The fear, they control. The Ignis can't do jack, but now, maybe, with the Crystal Nova as well as the hold-in from the Dream Coil, they're forced to fight here. Buybacks are coming in. A quick orb away to safety to the other side of the river. No, Puck will stay on his side. Alliance still uncertain they want to take the fight. No, they are certain. A blink forward with a snowball. Huskin 33 brought in. Another quick stomp forward. They're taking so much damage, but the sustain just keeps going. Nico finds the kill into Doom and the sharp block. Absolutely perfect. The log hit by the Illumin, but Song of the Siren. Everybody sleep. And we're done.
Oh, they still chasing.
Wait, no, they can go to the tower. They're actually so close. They're underneath the tier 2 tower. Gabby, and he cannot afford to die once again. As a dieback, 100 seconds on the sideline. This has escalated so quickly. TNC thought they were disengaging, but now their tier 3 tower in mid lane could be threatened.
It's just damage problems, man. That's what I was trying to say. They have so many teamfight items. They have the Vlads, they have the Pipe, they have the Helm of the Dominator, they have the Greaves.
And you put a DD on the SF, this push just becomes even more real.
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, the Puck has a lot of weight on his shoulders right now to clear this wave.
He's got to grab the creep wave. That blink, that's a good quick move away from the Puck. It could have easily gotten Blink Dragon Tail by Limp.
Okay, gotta make sure all 5 heroes are within range of the tower. Okay, good. They're tanking most of the tower shots to keep the creep wave alive. They have the Greaves to heal it. They have the Pipe. They want to use the active on the creeps.
The blast from March was a little bit too far off too, so the creep's still up. Tim's blink forward, swap him straight underneath the tier 3 tower. It's a good double stomp from KP. And maybe with these stuns to control Sparta dropping down very low. Same for Limp. He's got the cheese available. However, this DK is time to consume. And there it is, back to 100%. They're still underneath the tier 3 tower. The repair kit's giving the split attack now.
It's actually owning.
Yep. Alliance trying to get themselves the hell out of here with the blinding light. Alliance having a very hard time actually getting this damage in. So even with the dieback of the Naga Siren, they cannot take the tier 3 tower. And what do? TP Marsh to the bottom lane. Here comes your counter push again.
Got it.
Repair kit's so good, man. I think that push only didn't work because of the repair kit. The multi-shot combined with the tower region of 40% over time, I mean, it just makes it so you're like, we can't commit to this tower. Not to mention the 10 armor. Did he take the Presence Aura on buildings? No, he did not. So he has the full Butterfly up. Satanic. Really nice against the Doom. As well as much better against illusion heroes than it used to be because you can lifesteal off the illusions. Like I said, it's just these damage issues. The Puck had to itemize for the Lincolns because otherwise you just die to the blink stun from DK. Pretty unrealistic to expect yourself to react to that. As the game goes on, you're just going to get caught once and die.
Yeah.
It's like he's super survivable, but it just doesn't matter, I don't think. Eventually, you have to fight them in this patch. I think there's just too many objectives for a team to just walk at that eventually, we saw last game that they were kind of playing this cutesy split push game on the side of TNC, and I think Alliance just did such a good job of of covering all of their bases in the late game. You know, they had all this single target physical damage, then they have the Brew to deal with all these illusion carries that are good against that.
Can Armel change his item build now? Because he still seems to be moving towards the level 5 Dagon in his quickfire.
I think you just have to go damage, right? But then you're against the pipe, so I don't know. I know what you're saying. I agree,
can he nuke anybody? Like, is there that pickup that you can just grab? Like, the Vengeful Spirit appears to be the best target, but you kill VS once, you got to kill him again.
I almost think you need level 30 on Puck. You need the 420 GPM so you can get 6 slotted, but then you need the Dream Coil Rapid Fire to start dishing out some meaningful damage that isn't just your magic damage.
Well, with the way Armel's playing this, he's going to hit 30 probably before anybody else.
Yep.
Like, well, I say that, like, you do have the SF at 23. But it's because he's getting all the side lane experience to himself. And if you do commit to killing off Armel, you must bring 2 heroes, at least.
It's not unrealistic to get to level 30 this game, but at the same time, the level 25 to 30 trek just takes so long unless you're winning team fights, and I can't really imagine that happening.
But your 30 can take time because Naga pushes the lanes out, Puck pushes out the side lanes, your Coddle's always able to push back too.
Exactly, you have a lot of stall.
Yeah, like you're seeing Armel do it here. Like he's just grabbing wave after wave after wave, and then you'll come towards the mid lane and you'll clear this off too. Like this is just full space creation for TNC to get to these 30s.
The Aegis is running out, so it looks like Alliance is accepted. They're either content or they are accepting that they're not going to get anything with this Aegis timing.
God, if they find the real Gabby.
Oh.
Thada is very close to him, but
he's so fast though. 5 oh, he's hasted. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's it's not the
That'll
real.
do it.
It's not the real Harry Potter. That's not the Nimbus.
End of business.
That's just a normal broomstick. And they initiate. It's like it had to have been this one. The real Gabby is a little bit further north. They're taking the shrine. He's gonna song with the siren. They're grouped up. KP wants to get this blink double hoof stomp. He can catch both Hanskin as well as 33. He's going to BKB. There's the double stun, swapping out 33, so he's instantly stunned up underneath the Ignis. There goes your Requiem, but Nico, he's just trying to get rid of the Ignis. He's able to do so. The damage output is all on the Brewmaster, doomed up as well. The Snowball will buy a little bit of extra protection, but time while it's marched. It's the first one to die in this fight. Another quick rip for 33. He's not dead yet. The Illusion's trying to do the work. Another quick prop, but he takes through everything, and he gets the split. Everything TNC committed. It was all for naught. And now it's going to be 4 heroes to die. Armel, that blink and jump away is definitely not going to be far enough. He'll try and juke it out. A jaunt up as quick as he can. A Lincoln Spear will protect him. A quick silence follow-up, however. 4 heroes down from TNC. They were the ones who started this. Alliance the ones who ended.
The snowball save, the swap, even though it wasn't like away from anything, it just draws out just enough time. That Brewmaster had like 100 health. The Greaves armor, it all adds up, man. Just that little bit keeping him alive. And when you commit to a Brewmaster, if you've played against Brew and he doesn't die before getting that split off, that is just spelling what they would call doom, I believe, for you in the team fight.
No, that doom on your side doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
The repair kit combining with the glyph. Anything they can do to get rid of the creep waves, because we'll do this crap. They need to get rid of the creep wave up on top to at least stop. Like the bottom lane's pushed in, the middle lane's pushed in. They just want to try and stop the tier 4 towers getting brought down. Yeah, they just want to end this right now. Fortification. It won't even matter if they have this blinding light. Anything to try and slow this down. More Naga illusions kicking in. The tier 4 towers getting erected apart. Backdoor protection has now come up. The BKB Doombringer, they're just trying to take the attention off. This tier 4 tower is still alive. Limp's doing everything he can to get rid of it, but they don't have the creep waves. They're going to try and go for the range racks. Even that is hard enough.
They haven't even gotten a block shred. Like, that was their first racks.
Yep.
Despite everything. They
just
took a
the
tier 4,
range in mid because the creep waves are all pushed out. Puck's back up now.
The thing is, like, you have this Naga Siren, but I don't think this game gets easier for you as TNC. So, like, even though you hold, it's kind of like last game, you had the Drow against PL, you have this Naga against the Brewmaster. I don't think you scale better, despite, like, Naga on paper outscaling the SF. You don't really have an easy way to kill the DK. The SF is super farmed.
Satanic is done as well.
He's like a whole item ahead of the Naga Siren now. That Satanic represents the net worth discrepancy. DK is so tanky. I mean, oh man, that Mindbreaker also killed the Puck, so that's something to note. The 2-second silence can be a big deal against these heroes like Puck.
And he's got no way out of this. Like, he's still going in for the level 5 Dagon. There's no dispel. There's no more extra maneuverability. But the creep waves that continuously push in is all that's stopping Alliance from ending this game.
Bottom tower is on
Like
its
it's
way
12
further
to 30 on the kill count. You got 8,000 net worth advantage in favor of Alliance. The experience is closer to like 23,000 and increasing for Alliance. So they've got the levels. They've got the advantages. They've even got BKB over on a Vengeful Spirit. Doombringer. March is doing everything he can to keep KP alive. More Sentry Wards being dropped. They can't catch him, and you actually need Puck as well as Gabby to come back now.
Yeah, the Tusk even went for Boots of Travel so that he could clean up the waves and then come join his team. Really good play once again from Hanski in this game.
Armel, nuke the wave. Keep it back. Dagon from range.
No more repair kits now. They used all 3 charges.
Radiant's top tower.
And Nico will try and push through.
Oh my god, that damage on the buildings.
Yeah, 197 plus 261. There's a quick stun, and it is the jump in underneath the Ignis. Nico looking to wind up on the Requiem of Souls. Everyone's in pretty close. The Doom just gets deleted. Tims will join him as well in the afterlife. Gabby and March can't do anything from the back lines. Even with the Doom on Limp, just tanks through the entire thing. Top lane of Franks is taken. They braid the Lincoln Sphere over on Puck. As Alliance look for their second lane of racks, they look to actually end this now. It is going to be the tier 4 tower brought down. And Song of the Siren. I'm uncertain what this is looking to actually buy. They got the stun. They're looking towards the DK in the back lines. Gabby is here. A quick jump forward. Limp will be silenced up for the moment, but the damage into Armel is just ridiculously huge. That is going to be the Ancient to fall. And to take a 2-0 victory against TNC. Winners of the last major, but now 1-3 is their results at the start of the group stage.
Yeah, not the start of the day they were looking for. And losing game to J-Storm I thought was already bad enough.